My story of how I got into filmmaking is different than most. Growing up as a kid, I was never really interested in filmmaking. I mean, my dad had cameras, but I didn't care too much for them. But as I got older, there was always this small part of me that dreamed of owning a camera one day. When I was 15 years old, my dad and I would drive by a music store each week on the way to hockey practice. And every week he asked me if I wanted to take guitar lessons. Eventually, I said yes. But I wasn't prepared for how quickly music would grab my heart. I fell in love with the way you could use notes on the fretboard to create chords and melodies. And it didn't take long for me to discover guitar effects, and I became fascinated by sound design. In December of 2015, I lost my father to cancer. It was a difficult time in my life for obvious reasons, but as I went through the process of grief, I began to realize how many things in my life were inspired by him. If it wasn't for him, I would have never picked up a guitar in the first place, and now a camera. Because shortly after he passed away, I was given his camera. I didn't even realize how invested in photography he was until I opened the camera bag. In it were all the things I needed to begin filmmaking. My dad showed me the importance of hard work. Whether he was working on his racetrack or taking photos, he gave it his all. This was something that stuck with me. He taught me that you can't create something meaningful and beautiful without putting the time and energy into it. Now, since I began this pursuit of filmmaking and composing music, I've sat there many days discouraged about the things that I'm creating. The thoughts that creep in of, what if it's not good enough? What if everyone hates it? Is this just a waste of time? I think it's important to go back to that first thing that inspired your passion in the first place. Because if you can get to that place again, it will give you the motivation to keep making something meaningful and beautiful.